Alright, this is my annual summer garden tour. Over here, the boys wanted to plant some flowers because those flowers I have in the middle are not enough. They wanted a flower-only bed. So they have some zinnias. That pumpkin just popped up, so they left it. And they have some cosmos. So they got their first flower yesterday. This one's starting to come through. So that was like last minute, just added. This whole bed is asparagus, so you can see it's only on year one, so I letting everything go like that, go to seed. You can see, I don't know if I have any good examples. Oh, here's a good example of the asparagus, and like I could eat that right now, but the first couple years you're supposed to let it go. So I have some straggler poppies. I had another tomato because I can't say no when people give me free tomato plants, so I put it at the end there. I have a little bit of nasturtium in here just because I'm trying to get it going. And then someone also gave me 3 poblano peppers, so I added them on the side of this bed because I can't say no to free plants. I have some volunteer cosmos. This is my center bed with the sunflowers, flowers, artichokes going to flower, and then I have squash plants in the middle. I have some yellow squash in here, and I have some zucchini. I have so many mushrooms. Look at all those mushrooms. Like, I've never had this many mushrooms, but whatever. It's good for the soil. And I'm trying to get some bee balm going here. So that'll be pretty if that takes off. But yeah, I got green zucchini in there. And then, another tomato plant someone gave me for free. I can't pass it up, so I added it there. In this first bed, I have watermelon, 3 different kinds, orange, yellow, and alibaba, which is pink or red in the inside. And then I have some leftover beet plants that popped up. I have a celery hiding in there, and then 3 different kinds of tomatoes. This one is a pineapple tomato. I do not remember the name of that. And this is that Reingruber tomato where it has all the clusters on it. Like huge amounts, right? This whole huge thing. And these are really sweet and good. I've already got tons of them on here and picked tons. And I guess I shouldn't eat my tomato while I'm doing my tour, but sorry, I couldn't resist. Green onions over there, over here, over there. And then my trellis right here is looking really good. I'll come back on the side so the sun's not in our eyes. And it's starting to go all the way up and over. I planted butternut squash and long handle gourds and loofah. And I planted each side about 3 different times because the seeds weren't coming up. Probably because I was planting too early because I'm very eager to do so. So this side took off first. I don't know why, but it has tons of butternut squash on it. But I don't know what else. I don't see any gourds and I don't see any loofah. But it could be hiding in here somewhere because the leaves look a little different. These ones are kind of variegated. These are not. But I also planted butternut squash in 2 different sources. So that could be the reason. I don't know. But all I see is butternut. So we'll wait and see what this ends up. But this is already climbing all the way to the top, which is awesome. And then over here, I do not know. I saw 1 butternut squash, right there. See that little guy? So I know there's some butternut over here. I don't know what else is here. So we'll see. But this is doing good too. And then on the back side here, and this actually is a melon, a Gujarati melon. I have the plant right here in the middle, and it's obviously sprawling out everywhere, and it's starting to climb this trellis. So that'll be cool. I have some couple good sized melons in here. There's one right there. You could see it back there. There's another little guy in there. So those are really pretty. I don't like melons, but my grandma lives here too, and she loves them, so they're for her. And then I have more watermelons. Same thing, orange, yellow, and the alibaba. I don't know. I think the yellow is like Missouri yellow or something like that, and the orange is orange yellow. More cosmos just popping up. Got a pretty good sized watermelon under here. And then the beefsteak are starting to turn colors, which is awesome. Got quite a few of them on here. In the middle there is green zebra, and then over there is yellow pear tomatoes. Here's my little compost area, my little worm casting area. And then on this back fence, jasmine and jasmine, but also tomato plants intermixed, because again, I can't say no. These were volunteer pop-ups for my uncle. He thinks that they were ox heart, so hoping that's the case. Sweet potato, that's not in a bed, just in a walkway. I planted it here, I don't know, 2 years ago, and it keeps coming up every year, so I just go for it, because you can eat the greens like salad or saute them. And then obviously sweet potatoes underground. Another tomato there. I sent my husband to the store. Well, no, I didn't send him to the store. He was going to Home Depot already, and I said, hey, can you get me a jalapeno plant? Because I didn't have any jalapeno seeds. And he came back with a celebrity tomato, because apparently he thought it was a pepper. So yeah, in that celebrity tomato plant was 2, so I separated them. Put one right there, one right there. They both look like they're doing good. And then another one of those ox heart tomatoes over here for my uncle. That was a little volunteer. Got the chickens and fruit trees over there. In this bed I had all my potatoes. Took them out and planted sweet potatoes. They're starting to take off, doing really well. A couple different varieties, that's why the different shaped leaves. Some are white sweet potatoes and some are orange. Calendula, need to deadhead it. It's hard to keep up with it because it just flowers so much. I literally, like you can see, I just deadheaded this like yesterday, and there's already more to do. Borage over there, just volunteer. And then I have a jalapeno, and a serrano right there in the middle. And then I have 2 little orange plants that a friend gave me that I'm just popped in there. They're babies, so hopefully they take off and get going before end of summer. In this bed is crookneck squash in here somewhere. I need to pick some of them. And this is patty pan squash. I also need to pick these. So those are looking good. And then back here is 3, 4, 5 cucumber plants. There's like 3 different varieties there. Let's see if we can find any. I haven't looked on these in a couple days. There's some little ones. Yeah, they just get... Oh, I see some of the... I always want to call them Ashley cucumbers. They're not called that. They're called crystal apple. Whoa, there's some big ones I need to pick. And then there's those kind, which get a little bit bigger. Kind of like lemon cucumbers, but a little smaller. Yeah, there's more in here I need to pick. I haven't looked at this plant in a few days. And then this bed is one of my sons. He gets to pick what goes in there. And he picked red strawberry popcorn, which is an ornamental-ish popcorn, or you can use it for popcorn. So it has small ears, and they're bright red. And this was all tall and beautiful, and then we had some really uncharacteristic wind, and it knocked it all down. So we had these sticks up and string. Well, then the cats were like messing with the string and pulled it down. Pulled this side down, but it's still standing more or less. So it's almost ready, so it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's fine. And then here, I have an eggplant. We planted a bunch of okra, but only a few of them popped up. I need to plant more. It's not too late. I have some in here, under here. So it's doing good. Need to actually use that as like a little trellis and keep that one propped up. And then back here I have Shishito Peppers. That one is not taking off. That one's doing great. That one's not taking off. I don't know why. And then cinnamon basil right there. Over here we have the dragon tongue and borlata beans. So this whole section I planted first. You can see it's yellowing from the heat. This little section I planted next, and it's obviously younger plant, so it's not as yellow yet. But these have been really good producers. See if we can find some beans in here. My kids pick them all the time and eat them. But yeah, they're doing really good. They've given us a ton of green beans. We have 2 dino kells left over from the fall that we're just leaving because they're fine still. And I just noticed yesterday that these little squash bugs are coming on. And that usually means that the plant's dying, or it like sends out a signal to the bugs, you know, like it's nearing the end of its life. So I've just been picking them off and giving them to the chickens over there. Because I'm going to try and make this plant last and see if we can get it to go back in the fall again. But we'll see if that works. 3 bell pepper plants. We have 2 violet purple peppers right there and over there. And then these 3 peppers are habanadas. They're like sweet habaneros. This is a random banana pepper plant. And then that is a random, what is it called? Tomatillo. Someone gave me that for free. So why not? And then we have some sunflowers popping up. And then all that over there is pumpkins. Pumpkins everywhere. Also, we have purslane in here. Some people are like, oh, you got a weed in there, but it's an edible weed. And my kids like it. And it's kind of like peppery-ish flavor. So we leave it when it pops up. Let's see. So all those are different types of pumpkins. This is a wax melon, I think, because I intentionally planted it over here. And I don't know if that's what baby wax melons look like, but I'm pretty sure it does. And last year I had them. My uncle grew them, so I got seeds from him. And they're like a huge cucumber. But like they're sweet, like, and tender and nice. Like they don't get like tough and bitter and weird. And like we used them a lot for juice. And they were really good. Here's some up close of my chickens. There's Brewster the rooster. Sugar, Honey, and Cardi. Back there's Bessie. And I got that cloth on that tree because the apple tree next to it isn't big enough to give it shade. And that's the pawpaw tree. It actually has 3 fruits on it this year, which is awesome. And then over here we have our little Teepee Trellis, which earwigs were getting all the baby plants forever. So this is like the 4th time we planted the seeds, and you can see they're starting to climb. So I still have hope that this teepee trellis will be an actual teepee. We'll see. That little cap is sitting there because I've been putting little caps full of beer out here and catching the earwigs. And then also my gran is using, making up this Jerry Baker concoction and spraying it on these plants, and that's helped get them going. And I think they're gonna live. This is another random sunflower. I got a little tomato plant in there that was struggling, so I put a little cup around it. This is another tomato plant from my uncle, the oxheart ones that he had volunteer. I couldn't resist it, put it over here. And then I think that's it. I'll show you some of the fruit trees that are ready right now. We already had the cherry, that was the first one. This one is the Emerald Butte Green Plum. That one's gonna be ready next. Almost ready. When they get sun on them, they get a little bit of reddish brown on the top, but ones that don't get sun, like these under the leaves, are all green. And that's what they stay. So it's hard to tell when they're ripe. You just have to check by the firmness. They're a little squishy when they're ready. But these pluots are ready. You can see. So I don't protect these. Blue jays come here and there, like this one. But whatever. Like there's so many on here. And maybe once a day, there's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 like this that are eaten. So if I'm out here, I'll just take a few bites on this side and I'll feed it to the chickens. They love them. They eat any of the scraps that fall down. So that's why I really love having the chickens under the fruit trees, because they clean up the mess. But these are really good. This is Dapple Dandy or Dapple Supreme Pluot. And then the Nectarine Tree is next. And I've actually had a few on here. Like they're soft. See, you could squeeze it. Look at all those ants. You know what they're doing on these trees is they're eating the fruit that the blue jays pick. And sometimes they will like farm aphids too, but there's no aphids on this tree, so I think they're just getting the fruit that the blue jays have picked. But yeah, these Snow Queen nectarines are next. And then back here, there's a yellow peach tree, a white peach tree, and then there's a jujube tree over there. So all that fruit is coming. But you can see they're all fighting over that plum I threw on the ground. So that's it. That's this year's summer garden.